关注行业动态，聚焦企业风采。各位观众、各位网友，大家好，我是中国化工仪器网的记者海超。我们现在位于正在上海举办的2018慕尼黑上海生化分析展的展会现场。那么本次展会呢，我们也是非常荣幸的邀请到了劳达贸易上海有限公司的 CEO Gunther Wobser 接受我们采访。Hello。
Hi, how are you doing?
那么首先呢，也是非常感谢您能够抽出时间接受我们的采访。那么可以说，近期呢，劳达也是更换了一个我们的企业的全新设计，包括一个产品的一个设计。那么对于我们劳达而言，意味着什么呢？
Yeah, thanks for recognizing it. That's true. We have a new corporate design here at Lauda since this year, actually. Um, the first time we presented it was at Analytica in Munich. Now we're at Analytica in Shanghai. And also in June this year, we introduced the new product design, which will be launched into the market next year. And I mean, Lauda has been around for 62 years. The logo changed every like 25 years a bit, but now having such a comprehensive program of constant temperature equipment and systems, we thought it's the right time to give a new face to the customer, right? So actually we like the product name, we like the company name, Lauda. It makes sense. It's derived from Latin. It means to praise, yeah. Lauda, big brother in Mandarin. I think it has a good meaning as well. So actually we stick to the company name, but we gave the logo a bit more contemporary look, I would say, a new typo, a new font. And for the first time we have a logo for the company, which is the temperature circle, which is supposed to be behind me, right? And it has a really good meaning because there's hot and cold. Actually, we are doing with temperature control. We are actually creating very precise temperatures, and that's the meaning. It's like a recirculation circle, a cycle, where like cold water goes to the application, takes away the heat, removes the heat, and goes back to the product. So it's like an infinite loop. So that's a very strong meaning, and it looks great, right? So it's not just the logo, it's also the temperature circle, which stands for Lauda, being the world-leading manufacturer of constant temperature equipment.
OK，那么劳达也是非常注重我们一个员工的培养的。那么在去年也是成立了新劳达学院。那么想问一下您，我们为什么要建立一个学院？我们学院都是开设了哪一些的内容？
Yeah, if you grow as a company, you have to add more and more people. So education is really critical, but not only that. We have a really shortage of workers, of labor force in Germany. Just to give you one example, in the area where I live, where Lauda is located, the unemployment rate is below 3%. That's not much. Basically, everybody is employed. There are just a few people looking for jobs who are kind of in between jobs. Yeah, we need to attract new people. Like here on the exhibition, I also have some chats with guys. For example, right now we're looking for an area manager for Asia. Just on that note. But it's also for the workforce. There's a lot of influence about digitization, about new technology applied to the workplace. And you need to train your own staff, right, for technology. But also you need to develop your own staff for the future needs, right? So like labor force is critical. So we introduced a new unit at Lauda, which is called Lauda Academy. And basically HR is looking at the people, how to develop them, and Academy is looking what's going on in the market to find the right coaches, the right trainers, the right courses for the people. That works pretty well. Just to give you one example, and I know you want to hear more about that, about how Lauda is managing innovation. And there are some techniques which foster innovation, such as design thinking. I'm not sure how popular it is in China, but I assume it's becoming more and more popular. Actually, the cradle of design thinking is more California, the US, but there are many Chinese, so there's a lot of Chinese influence, so I guess it could be exported. So the method I'm talking about is design thinking. And that's a very good way how to interact with the customer at a very early stage. And that's one technique Lauda Academy is currently teaching some key personnel at Lauda.
OK，那么据了解呢，您也是在我们的美国硅谷建立了一个创新公司，您能不能和我们分享一下这一段时间对于您来说的一个收获，以及针对于我们劳达下一步的一个计划呢？
Yeah, that's true. I spent a year in California for several reasons. Of course, it was very important to me to run my daily business, to be operational, to be the CEO of the Lauda, of the group. That works pretty well using video conferencing and having a really strong leadership team in place. Every second month, I went back home to Germany to see my folks and to have personal meetings. So that worked pretty well for a year. Basically, I like to say I worked in two shifts. I started my working day pretty early at 7 a.m., which is due to the 9 hours time difference, like 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So I had like 2 to 3 hours video conferences, and I worked on my projects like emails and stuff like that. Then the first 6 months I explored the area. So I had a lot of meetings like we have in a cafe or having lunch meetings to really get the spirit why Silicon Valley still is the hub for innovation, right? And there are some reasons for that, and it's not easy to imitate it. There's a spirit, there's a lot of academia, there's always great immigration about talents from all over the world, right? There's a strong influence about military research, just to name a few. So these are my personal findings, and I mean my overall objective was to open an innovation lab for Lauda, for my own company, but there's no pattern you can follow, right? So I needed to find my personal way to do it, to do a lot of research, and then about 6 months later, I started recruiting. I found a female director of the innovation lab, a very interesting person, and we recruited, and now I have 3 people in place dealing with the ideas which not necessarily fit to the core business. Usually that's my personal theory, like the greatest ideas can get lost because they don't fit to the core business. They're a little bit weird, they're a little bit vague, you don't know how to deal with them. So these ideas directly go to the innovation lab and there spend some time to enrich the information, to talk to customers, to apply design thinking. And maybe one idea might be great and will be brought back to the core business, or can be a new product extension, a new product line, or even a new company out of the core business, like a corporate venture.
那么可以说，随着劳达海外业务的扩展，您能否给我们分享一下这一部分取得的哪一些的成就，以及我们的一个在全球的一个战略布局呢？
You know that this year we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Lauda China, and in the preparation for this event, I looked at some documents. So for example, in 2006, so 12 years ago, we conducted a very comprehensive study we called Focus Asia, and the title speaks for itself. Actually, our footprint in Asia was kind of limited, so I worked with a consultant based in Shanghai how to strengthen our business in Asia. And there was like a list of several methods, of several actions we're going to take. And the most important ones were first having products which fit to the needs of the Asian market. And the second is to have a stronger presence in Asia to work with our customers and our distributors. Basically, these are the 2 things we did. So we opened Lauda China about 2 years later. And so now we are going to celebrate the 10th anniversary. And we also started to develop products with Chinese engineers, with a complete sourcing out of China, which were a really good fit for this market here. But not only that, in these days we are exporting the products out of China globally, including the US, including Europe, which is a great accomplishment in terms of globalization of the Lauda company, right? And I gave you an example about China. There's another one talking about Lauda Scientific, which is a daughter company. We do have a really comprehensive cooperation with a Chinese startup, Ningbo Scientific, which is managed by Dr. Bihai Song, a Chinese person who has a German citizenship. So he's basically living two parts of the world, and we asked him, we invited him actually to join us, and now he's like the scientific person, and we at Lauda, we produce the product and we use our distribution channels to sell it on a global basis. That's just another example how important China is. And that's very valid for Lauda in total. We have about 500 people, and about a third is working abroad, like outside of Germany. We have 12 subsidiaries, we have 4 R&D and production sites. Just one is within Germany, that's our headquarters, but 3 are in other countries. So that's a good example how international Lauda is. That was totally different 15 years ago. So the last 15 years we have developed Lauda from a truly German engineering-driven company to a global customer-centric manufacturer.
OK， 那么通过您刚刚的介绍呢，也是让我们大家对于劳达有了更进一步的了解。我们也相信，在未来我们整个行业之中，那么劳达的业务一定能够发展的越来越好。那么在这里呢，也再一次感谢您能够抽出时间接受我们采访 ，Thank you。
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it a lot, and good luck